something earlier where the idea, if you have your blade, yeah, make stick. It's gonna be like my little bokeh. You know, you could be here in Seigan. Attacker comes from Daijodan to cut. You're dropping back, reinforcing your blade. The uke will then cut his left wrist as he cuts. So imagine the uke might be here in Seigan. He might step forward, or if he's in Seigan, he might step back. You know, if I give her a reason to step back or I give him a reason to step forward, either one is acceptable. You get him into Daijodan. So when the uke goes to cut here, right? If I'm in Seigan, maybe I drop to Gedan and he's in Seigan and I actually pop up. You know? So I'm here, I pop up underneath his guard, which might cause him to jump back. If he's in Seigan, he's coming to ski, and I'm in Gedan, and I just pop. Right? This causes him to jump back to Daijodan. Now as he does that, I might lower my guard again, you know, and open it up so there's a way for him to come in to access my head as a target. As he comes in, and notice, he would have the high ground. I'm down low. Can I defeat this hurt? Can I defeat this? So as he's coming in to cut from my head, I drop back again, reinforcing my cut, cutting his left kote. Okay? Now as his blade comes down and cuts his wrist, I simply step in, switching feet, keeping contact on the top of his left wrist, and now cutting out to his right kote, his migi kote, okay? That inner wrist. And now I'm going to step in. This would be a cut to the neck on the right side. So if we think about, I'm in Seigan, I lower my guard, drop back, drop in, out, and cut to the neck. So I guard, using my blade here, not fully drawing my weapon, shift it off, cut, cut. From here, shiburi, resheath my weapon. So you think about that. You're here, whoa, push it off, whoop, whoop. I'm moving back. I could move off this way, here, and dropping here. Okay, I'm gonna pay for that later. My knee. I'm glad I put a knee guard on this knee brace. But dropping here, letting the weapon deflect off, which caused the uke to stumble. Again, I'm using the terrain. This is actually taking me down lower by stepping to my right. Knocking his weapon, coming back up to his neck. And pull. And that'll be a cut again. These are all things that we just move within nature, using the terrain. What was it in Star Wars when Anakin and Obi-Wan were fighting? And Anakin's like, Anakin, I have the high ground. Don't do it. Don't do it. That is true. If you have the high ground, you have the advantage. But it's not to say that you can't do something while you're down low and then transition up. You know, if I have the low ground here, the attacker is the high ground. Who's got the high ground right now? By simply drawing that person in lower with me and then moving around, you know, or drawing them in and moving around. Now I have the high ground. So we're looking at another idea here is the idea of threats coming from the rear, from behind you. Regardless of what kamae you're in, whether you're in Shizen or Shizentai, whether you're in Daijodan whether you're in Hasso, Seigan, doesn't matter. Addressing and moving in ways so that you could acknowledge the threat, identify what the situation is, evaluate it, and then come up with a countermeasure to defeat that threat. So in this situation, I'm going to be in Shizen. So here, this is one that I teach my students. See, the idea is that threat comes from behind. I'm here with my blade. So as that threat comes in, I'm actually going to cross out with Yoko Uruki to gain some distance. Yoko Uruki, as I turn to look to see what's going on, I step out again, deflect high above. Now this could cover anything that's coming from a thrust to an attack from Daijodan. Okay? This could also address a threat coming from a Kesagiri, coming from the opposite side. Okay? So as I do this, this is me getting out of the way. Okay? So here, crossing up, boom, there, deflecting high. From there, I can come up and thrust back in. Okay? You can also do this by doing Toby. You can also do this when you Toby too. So if I here and thrust in, that's another method of way of doing it. My knee is going to pay for this. Okay. Another way of looking at it is if I'm in Seigan no Kamae. It would not change if I'm in Seigan no Kamae. If I'm in Seigan no Kamae here, and a threat comes from behind, now that my right foot's forward, I'm just going to take a step with my left and deal with that threat there. So it's more of a knocking it away. So here, boom! So I'm deflecting high, having my weapon here. Now it's just a matter of if that person decides to come in again, I can deflect down, thrust, come in with a Kesagiri, then come in with a Yaku Kesagiri, cutting up. If I'm in Daijodan no Kamae, so I'm here. Again, I'm going to use the Yoko Uruki. So if I'm in Daijodan no Kamae, the attacker comes in from the rear, I cross with Yoko Uruki, seeing what's going on, and as I pivot again, I bring my hand down, or I rotate my wrist. Now this deflects. This is great for if someone's coming for a ski to the rear, okay? And then once you deflect it, you could just come right into the body because they're still coming forward. You're just coming to the body. As they're traveling forward, you would just ski in right there, okay? So once again, Daijodan no Kamae, pivot, and then thrust in. With all of these, you're gaining distance to evaluate the situation, and you're able to see, hey, this is what's going on after you evaluate it and address the threat. Okay. Easy ways to deal with this also is that once you evade, you're not just evading, you're evading and covering yourself. You're using your blade as a shield. Okay. Evade and a simple ski, a thrust, can solve the problem. Now this will cause you most of the time be impaled on your blade. So you think about this. If I'm in Daijodan, the person comes in, and I step and I deflect, again, I might go here and thrust under. You know? Depending on their distance, I might thrust and I might thrust to Murasame. I might thrust to Sugetsu. I might thrust to Gorin. Okay? These are all targets that are open for you. Okay? Now, even if you don't have a weapon, a stick, a boken, a shinken, you know, yaito, anything. You don't have a weapon. These same things can come into play, okay? Again, I'm downhill. I'm not trying to fight an uphill battle. I'd rather bring that person past me, so now I have the high ground. So this would entail using sutime, so sacrifice, okay, sacrifice throws. That sacrifice, if you have a weapon, could be you letting them, that could be this type of thing. I'm here, touch from behind, whoa, boom, boom, right? I may come back and make contact with him here, push his weapon up, and then he pushes my weapon away. And I evade, I gotta get out of there. But then I can still turn back and engage him, locking up his arms, you know, and drop it into sutime, yokonagare. Tossing him, and then I come back into a mounted position here, take his weapon, put it across his neck, apply pressure, cut.